So now let's talk about loops. First of all, let me tell you that what are loops. Let's say that we are developing an application for the phone directory of all the members of all the house in a country, and there are millions of phone numbers in a country. So if we want to print out phone numbers from any particular city that have half of a million of phone numbers, so do we need to write print statement for half million times? No, we don't need to write. It's very hectic job. I will copy and paste again and again to print out each number using the print statement. Instead, I will tell my loop to print out that much number of message. All right, and I will give out a variable or an array or any particular data structure that our loop should needs to be printed. And it doesn't need to be a message. We can give it a block of code that needs to be executed for any particular time. So in this video I'll talk about while loop. There is another loop in Python that is called a for loop, I will talk later. So let's write our while loop, and I'm gonna print out numbers from 1 to 10 without using print statements 10 times line by line. All right, instead I will write one print statement and give it my loop to print out that message for 10 times. So first of all, I need to define a variable, and that is var equals to 1. All right, and I have defined my variable, and after that I will write while. This is a keyword in Python, and inside the brackets I will write var is less than equals to 10. Then I will write a colon and I will press enter. And same as for if conditions, for elif conditions, for else condition, I need to write each and every line of code that I want to be within the body of this while loop. I can't write anything right here. It will come outside the body of while loop. I must need to add a space before everything that needs to be within the body of this while loop. Okay, so I'll press enter. It will automatically add a space before that. Okay, if you're using a notepad or notepad plus plus, you must need to add a space yourself. Okay, so inside it I will print out print. Within the brackets I will enter the variable. Okay, as I explained you earlier, if I don't write anything inside it, don't write a double quotes around it, it will print out the value of this variable but not this message itself. Okay, but I also need, this is the condition, and it will keep on executing this print statement unless this condition gets false. So first time our var variable contains 1, and our interpreter is gonna check out this line, and it's gonna check out while loop and check out this condition. If the value inside the var, which is 1, is less than or equals to 10, so our value is 1 and 1 is less than 10. Okay, and it gets true, and it will come inside the body and it's gonna print out the value of var. Okay, next time I want to increment the value of var, so I will write var equals to var plus 1. All right, and it's gonna calculate this expression, and up right now the var contains 1, and 1 plus 1 will become 2, and the result of 2 will be stored back to our variable var. Okay, once both of these statements will be executed, our interpreter is going back to our while loop. It will keep on going back to our while loop unless this condition gets false. So first time, which is 1 is less than 10, it's gonna print out 1. Okay, and after that it's gonna increment the value of var, and then the var will contain 2, and it's gonna check out this condition again. And now var contains 2 and 2 is less than 10. Okay, it gets true, and when it gets true, it's gonna come within the body of this while loop and it's gonna print out 2, and after that 2 plus 1, and it's gonna store the result within the var, and right now var contains 3. Okay, and it's gonna check out with 3. 3 is less than 10, and it's gonna keep on checking out until this becomes 11. Okay, when it will become 10, 10 will be not be less than 10. Instead 10 is equals to 10. So whether it can be equal or it can be less. Okay, when it will become 10, 10 equals to 10, again it will come inside the body, it's gonna print out 10 right here. Okay, but when this will execute 10 plus 1, the var will contain 11, and it's gonna check out this condition again. 11 is neither less than 10 nor equals to 10. Instead 11 is greater than 10, and it's not going to come inside the body of this while loop, and our program will end. I hope that you have got the idea. I have tried my best to explain you what's going on right here. Okay, I've explained you because I'm considering you are all at the beginner level, and this Python is your first language that you are learning. Okay, so I'm gonna save this file and I'm gonna print out it. All right, so you can see that I have run my file python first.py. It has printed 1 2 3 up to 10 numbers. All right, so now I'm going to write a code for printing out the values from 10 to 1 in the descending order. And I'm gonna write a code, but I would like you to pause this video right now and write that code yourself. Okay, and once you write that thing, even you do it wrong, but at least you should try to do it yourself, and then you need to resume this video and check out that how did I do that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, first value should be 10, and I'm gonna write 10 right here. Okay, and in the condition I'm going to write var is greater than equals to 1. Okay, first of all, var contains 10, and 10 is greater than 1, it gets true, and it's gonna come inside the body of while loop. It has printed 10 right here, and after that I want to decrement the value of var variable. Okay, and instead of writing plus right here, I will write minus. Var equals to var minus 1. 10 minus 1 will become 9, and 9 is greater than 1, and it's gonna print out 9 right here. Next time it contains 9. 9 minus 1, it becomes 8. 8 is gonna store inside the var. And so let's run our file again to see. So you can see that it has printed 10, 9, 8, and down to the digit 1. So we have written our program for printing out the values from 1 to 10 and 10 to 1 in the backward. Okay, so there are other things that we can also do, rather than, as I explained you earlier, this condition means in binary numbers, this condition means 1 or any positive value, it means true. Okay, if it gets 0, it means that it is false. If I write 0 right here, it will never come inside the body of while loop, because 0 automatically 0, it will remain 0, because we are not trying to use a variable right here. Okay, so I'm gonna save this file and I'm gonna run my file. You can see that nothing has been printed. All right, and if I write any positive value, it will become an infinite loop. Okay, it will never going to get false. I'm not going to run this program because it can attack my RAM, because it will keep on printing out the values as faster as my RAM is, as my processor is. So don't try to run this program. It will keep on printing out. It will never going to get false. Okay, so let's press Ctrl Z. Now I want to explain you what is nested loop. Same as I explained you what is if condition, nested if condition, nested else if conditions, and so on. So for the while explaining you the nested while loop, I want to give you an example that I want to print out number of characters. Let's say I want to print out a character, and I want to print out character a as much time as I have this digit right here. If I have 10, then I will print a digit, a character 10 times just after it. Okay, and if I have 9, I will print out a character 9 times after this. All right, so let's do it. Let's say that I will define a var 1 Okay, and after that I will write a while loop, and inside the while loop I will write var is less than equals to 10, and I will add a colon, and inside it I will print out my var, this digit. All right, and this is the same as I did earlier. Okay, and after that I need to increment the value of var so that this condition should get false at some time. After printing out 10 values, this condition should get false. If I don't write this right here, it will become an infinite loop, because var will always remain less than 10, because it contains 1 and 1 is less than 10. It will keep on printing 1 right here. Okay, but instead of incrementing this right here, just above this var equals to var plus 1, I want to write another while loop. Just after printing out this var value, which is 1, I want to write another while loop to iterate from 1 up to the value that is being contained by variable var. Okay, so now I want to define another variable, and I will write var2 equals to 1. Alright, and after that I want to define another while loop, and inside the while loop I want to check if var2 is less than equals to var. Alright, and I want to print out A. Let's write capital A. Okay, and after that I want to increment the value of var2 inside it, which is var2. Okay, so I don't want to print this message in the next line. Instead I will add comma and equals to empty. Alright, and I will write the same thing inside this print. Alright, and after that let's press backspace to come outside the body of this while loop, and I will print out an empty string, because I want to bring my cursor to the next line. That's why I didn't want it to add this particular thing, the end keyword right here, and instead I have printed an empty string to bring my cursor to the next line. Okay, so I'm gonna save this file to run it, and after that I'll come back to it to explain you what's going on right here. Okay, so let's run our file. So guys, you can see that we have a 1 digit and it has printed out 1A. If we have 2 digit, it has printed out 2 A's. If we have 3 digit right here, it has printed out 3 A's. It's a kind of complex program. I would like all of you, if you're a beginner programmer, to write this code again and again 3-4 times by your own. Write this code by looking at me, what I have written right here, and after that you need to pause this video or close, minimize this window. Then you need to write this code without watching this video. Okay, so let me explain you what's going on right here, which is actually called a dry run. Okay, so I have defined a variable which contains 1, and after that I have started out while loop, and it has checked if this condition gets true, means 1 is less than 10, it gets true at start, which is 1, and it's 10, and which is less than 10, and when it gets true, it's gonna come out the body of this while loop, and this whole is the body of this while loop, because all these lines contain space before all these statements. Okay, and after that I have printed out the value of var. First time the value of var is 1. Okay, and I have added this end equals to, I have written nothing inside it, means that cursor will remain at the same position, and after that I have defined another variable var2, which is again 1. Okay, and this is again within the body of this while loop, and it will see this while loop again, and it's going to check out if the value of var2 is less than or equal to var value, and var2 contains 1, var contains 1, and 1 is equals to 1, so it will get true. When it will get true, it will come inside the body of this while loop. Okay, and these two statements are within the body of this while loop because there is a space before these two statements. From where the while is starting, we have these two print statements after that, and when it will come inside this while loop, it's gonna print out a. Okay, and it's gonna keep the cursor at the same line once it will print out 1 and a. And after that, I am incrementing the value of var2. var2 contains 1 plus 1, which becomes 2, and var2 will get 2 right here. And after that, it's gonna go back to this while loop to check the condition again, because it has executed all the statements of the body of this while loop. It needs to check this condition again, and this condition, the var2 will get 2 value and var will have the previous 1 value. Because it has not reached this statement yet, var will have 1 and it will have 2, and 2 is neither less than 1 or nor equals to 1, so it will get false. And when it will get false, it's gonna come outside the body of this while loop, and this is where the body of this while loop ends. Okay, and it will come inside this print statement, and it has printed nothing. Instead, it has bring out the cursor to the next line. Okay, and it has incremented the value of var, and now the var will get 2 right here. Okay, and it has printed out and executed all the statements of this while loop. Okay, and but this condition hasn't get false yet. Okay, it needs to go back to this condition to check if it gets true again or not. Var gets true, var gets 2, and now it will check with the updated value of var, and 2 is less than 10. Okay, and this condition will get true again, and when it will get true, it will come inside the body and it's gonna print out the value of var, which is 2 right here. Okay, and it will keep my cursor at the same line, and it will initialize this variable again. Okay, because when interpreter come from top to bottom, it initialize things again and again. Okay, it will not be updated with the updated value right here. Instead, our interpreter have come from top to bottom, means that var2 will get 1 again. Okay, so now it will come inside this while loop, and now var2 contains the updated value, which is 1. Var contains 2 right here. Now 1 is less than 2. It gets true. Okay, when it gets true, this is the body of this while loop. It's gonna print out a and keep the cursor at same line. Now this much data have been printed, 2a. Okay, and after that, it will increment the value of var2 plus 1, and var2 have 1 value, and 1 plus 1, which is 2, var2 will get 2, and it has printed and executed all the statements. Now it go back to this condition, and it's going to check out if 2 is less than or equals to the value of var, and var value contain 2 right here. Okay, so 2 is equals to 2. It gets true. Okay, when it gets true, it's gonna print out a again right here. Okay, and it's gonna keep my cursor right here. It's gonna increment the value of var2 and gets 3 right here. Now 3 is neither less than 2 or nor equals to 2. Okay, it will get false, and when it will get false, it will come outside the body of this while loop, and it will come right here to bring the cursor down, and it's gonna increment the value of var, and it gets 3 right here. Okay, and when it will get 3, it will go back to this condition. It's gonna check out this condition, 3 is less than 10. Okay, and the same process will keep on executing. This whole lines of code will keep on executing unless this condition gets false. And when it will get false, when this var will gets 11. because 11 is the minimum value that can be greater than this 10. Otherwise it will keep on executing this code. Okay, that's why it has printed out the values up to 10, because 10 is equals to 10, and when this will execute it will become 11, and 11 is greater than 10, neither less than nor equals to. So when this condition gets false, our interpreter will stop executing this program. I hope that you have got the idea. At start it's very difficult to understand. I would recommend you to pick up a pencil and copy and try to run this whole code by your own. And the way I have explained you right here is the way how interpreter see this code, how interpreter run this code. Okay, I have shown you how our computers see this program, that how I need to execute this program. All right, so that's pretty much it. Next I will talk about for loop.